All right, guys. Well, I know you guys don't want to be here all night, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm sure other people will trickle in, and we always have technical issues, and people are getting kind of used to that. But unfortunately, when things can go wrong, they do.
Yep.
All right, so tonight, guys, we kind of want to let you in on some stuff. This is probably going to be one of the best trainings we've done, and it's probably going to be one of the most important trainings that you've seen from us, and it's something that can really take your business to the next level. It's going to basically let you in on what the top earners in the industry are doing to produce the results they are and to really build their business the way they're doing it. So kind of the topic of tonight's workshop is authority and branding and how it always trumps the results, trumps results and testimonials and all that stuff in network marketing. So authority and branding is what we're going to be focusing on. And this is the exact reason why big marketers can go out and join a business and then have a slew of members in their downline within a week's time. And it's not because in the beginning they had huge results, because obviously they didn't. They just got into a business. But what they've done is they built up their brand and their authority in the industry over time. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, what is brand? What is a brand? So a brand isn't just like a logo. It's not just a tagline or a story or an ad campaign. It's the sum of all of those things. And by definition, a brand is a collection of experiences that a company or person creates with everyone they come into contact with. It's the feeling that you get when you think of a product, person, or place. So what you need to be thinking about is, how do you build your brand? You need to start thinking about what feeling you want people to have when they think about you, your product, your company. And in this case, what they think about you and your business opportunity, but most importantly, the feeling that they get when they think about you, because you are your business in this scenario with National Wealth Center. So I want you to kind of do this exercise with me. I've done this before myself, but this is a great exercise to do. And if you want to, you can, you kind of close your eyes as you do this if you want to. But I want you to listen to the few examples I'm getting ready to give you and just kind of think of what comes to the forefront of your mind when you hear me name these different companies or things or places. All right. So if you want to, just close your eyes, but just think of the first things that come to mind when I name these off. Best Buy, Cadillac Escalade, Eric Worre's Network Marketing Pro, Wells Fargo, PayPal. These are just examples of companies and people who have branded themselves, given themselves an authority in their market, in their industry. And so a few things you might have thought of when you thought about these names are Best Buy. You think of like technology. Maybe you think of good deals on technology, or just what I think of as the place to go when you need something that's technology. We don't have Circuit City anymore. We don't have any of those places. It's Best Buy now.
Right.
Cadillac Escalade, you think of quality. You think of a high-end SUV. That's kind of your luxury SUV. At least that's what I think about. Eric Worre's Network Marketing Pro. I think of that's the main source of where a lot of network marketing professionals go to learn strategies, tools, training, and how to perform better in their network marketing business. I think he is an incredible authority in our personal niche, our personal industry. Now, I even threw in a couple of here that you probably may have some negative feelings about, and I did that for a reason, because I want to show you how you can do things in your business to tarnish your brand. One of those is Wells Fargo. I'm personally a client of Wells Fargo. I've been banking with them for like 15 years now, I think longer than that. But recent events, I've always had this great feeling about them, and the feeling I get with banking with them, and, for the most part, it's just a place where you keep your money. But whenever I go into their bank and their branch, I know they always try to take care of me. What I didn't know is they were trying to upsell me or add accounts to to me. But this is just news that has come to light in the last couple of months, where they were opening up fake accounts, and that's killed their their brand. That's killed their edge, their authority in the industry of banking. And so it doesn't take much to really start hurting that reputation of yours. PayPal. Now, for some people and this kind of goes, and one of the reasons why I want to throw this in here is because people have different feelings about things depending on their stance, depending on who they are and where they're at. So for most people, they think of PayPal as a great solution for collecting payments. Now, if you ask anybody in our niche, in network marketing or MLM, we hate PayPal. And the reason why is because, and this is another reason why I wanted to bring it up, is because you need to start thinking about your target audience. Who is your prospect? Because not everybody is your prospect. And for PayPal, we are not their key demographic. We are not the people they're looking to do business with. They don't care anything about us in network marketing. They have their niche out there, and that's other bricks and mortar type businesses, some software businesses and stuff like that. But they don't like network marketing or work from home solutions. So it's just interesting to see how different people can have different feelings about different brands. Now, this can even go as far, and this might really trip you out. It did me, but this can go as far as to even places and things that come up. So like, think about, and you can do the same exercise, close your eyes if you want to, and just imagine what first comes to your mind when I name these things. But a movie theater. So if you're like me, I think of, buttered popcorn, Coke, and all those, that candy and stuff, and that smell that's in the air, and a good time, relaxed, good time. And that's the feeling you get from a movie theater. Now, a movie theater isn't a brand or a company per se, but but it can still have that effect and still give you a feeling of when you think about it. And that's the brand that's created. Whether you want to create a brand or not, you're always creating one, no matter what you are or where you are. So another example would be a county fair. I have feelings when I think of a county fairs. When I was 16, 17 years old, I'd hook up with my girlfriend, go down to the fair and get candy apples and stuff. It's probably every young guy's memories of the fair. Even holidays, Halloween. I think of, pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns. I think of cold weather, which I'm starting to get used to in Arizona. We don't have that on Halloween. But so these different feelings and all these things come up. But how did that come about? It took time over a series of events or stories and experiences for you to slowly develop the way you feel about these companies, people, places, and things. So how can you create the feeling you give others about your products and your business? How do you create your storyboard, so to speak, so others feel a certain way about you? And it's really kind of simple. Many marketers, now, they'll use tactics and hype, and that's a huge mistake. These tactics will only last you so long, and when your tactics and schemes backfire, you risk losing your reputation and authority, and ultimately you're going to diminish your brand in the process. And an example we all kind of know is a certain furry-headed marketer. Now, I'm only mentioning I'm only mentioning this because we're a closed team here. This is a closed training, and we all know this example pretty well, don't we, Tony?
Yeah, I'd say so. Well,
Yeah.
if you remember, like at first, this is crazy. At first, he was claiming he made like $260-some thousand with using a certain marketing strategy. And then it was a week, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks later, he's using the same dollar amount, saying he made all this money using another marketing strategy. And we know because we know him, so we're just like, what in the heck? So I've even seen him. This is even way more out there, is we've seen him use the same income claims with different businesses. So he's making the same money, but now he's making it with XY business instead of this business. So the thing is, yeah, okay, don't get me wrong, it works for a while, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt his authority, as you say, in the industry. And eventually what's going to happen is nobody's going to trust him or anybody doing these tactics. Now, even, I mean, not to say, Brand and I are guilty, but even we had a situation where, with RPM, where it was getting so hyped up. And the thing is, I mean, we almost couldn't help it, but it got so hyped up, we had to continuously be, tweaking things. And, eventually we got it to where we weren't relying on hype anymore. But the bottom line is the reason, people and you guys and everybody stuck with us is because of one, our authority in the industry, and two, the relationships that we've built for our members and built for our team. So the bottom line, you don't want to rely solely on one tactic, if you will. This goes for a marketing strategy, but currently YouTube, for instance, I mean, that's a great way. Brand and I both have done a lot of business using YouTube to get our content out there and talk about the business opportunity. But and even with our training, we've showed you guys how to rank your videos on YouTube. But what if down the road, and they've done this already a few times, where they tweak things and they change their CEO and algorithm, basically, or worse yet, I mean, what if they end up do the PayPal route, and they just don't want to deal with network marketers, right? So, not to say that'll happen, but who knows? So, what we're getting at is, you need to establish your brand and your authority and never depend on one, tactic or strategy. Most of us on the team can be found, on Facebook, Google Plus, YouTube, even Instagram, Twitter, our websites, if we have training sites or personal websites, Snapchat. I mean, there's so many, the list goes on, but if bottom line is, if one of those goes down, or we can no longer work with them, it doesn't hurt us that much. I mean, we still have all those other areas, and people will, find another way to seek us out on another platform. But in order for them to do that, we have to have done something, for them to, want to find us, want to seek us out, right?
Right. And that gets us to, and that's what I want to talk about is, the importance of building authority is exactly that, so that you're not depending on a tactic or a strategy or something. People are going to find you out because they want to find you. You've offered them some kind of value. So let's talk about how to build that authority, because, I didn't know how to do that from day one. I just slowly started to do it almost mistakenly, and kind of learned some things along the way that other top leaders were doing, and I wanted to duplicate what they were doing, including Tony. I wanted to duplicate what he was doing because it worked. We were actually chatting about something before this webinar. It's just something we did, or he had accidentally done, that made me think, oh man, this guy knows what he's doing. So I wanted to partner with him. So So how do you build authority? So the key thing here is value. You need to be putting value first. You need to be offering something for free if you can. With the team, we offer free training when members join with us, and that's extremely valuable. In fact, this very webinar we're doing right now is free and is adding to mine, to Tony's, and the whole team's authority and branding as we speak. So you need to think about ways you can bring value to your prospects and to your audience. So there's different ways to do this, but I'm just going to give you some examples of ways I've seen a lot of people doing it and the ways I've been doing it myself. Offer some free training. You can do that in the form of a video or a blog post if you have a blog, social media, just posting stuff on social media. I see people post things just as simple as like a video of Steve Harvey talking about, what does he say? You got to jump to fly or something like that. I can't remember.
I see.
I love that video.
It's
like
great.
You got to jump first. You just got to jump.
That's the bottom line, right?
But just add stuff on social media that's going to be of value to people. Maybe share some insights to something you're learning, because we like to keep a lot of things secret. And I was talking to Tony because when this webinar messed up, or the first webinar messed up, and we're like, we got to post emergency link out to our team on Facebook, but both of our Facebook groups are open. But the cool thing about it is, if somebody is looking in at Team Destiny or Team Elite Domination and they get on this training by accident, we didn't mean for them to, they're going to see how much training we have here, and it's just going to build the team's authority that much more. So I'm not too upset if somebody comes in here by accident.
Right.
So there's different ways to do it, but free training is a great way to do it, because not only are you showing that you're willing to help people for free and add value to them, but you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. Just make sure you do know what you're talking about before you do it. So you can give away something free training, or you can give away a free ebook. Maybe you have master resale rights on something. You can look on the internet for master resale rights on stuff. Or if you really have the time, you can create an ebook. And I've done that in the past with another thing I was doing, and it wasn't for money. And it's a lot of work to create an ebook. So I'd recommend trying to find master resale rights on something, or maybe you're part of something that gives away affiliate products. But give away something free. Also, when you're speaking to people, think about what you can offer to the conversation rather than what can you benefit from it. When you stop thinking about how can I benefit from this situation, you're going to be benefited just because you're in the right mind frame. You're seeking to help rather than seeking to take. So, and people will feed off that. They'll understand that it just puts you up there on their list of people they want to do business with you. Greg said, I give away Think and Grow Rich ebook as value. Exactly. That's a great thing. And see, and that's just an example, and this may be something Greg does on Facebook. If somebody contacts you and they're talking to you about their, because I get this almost every day now. In fact, every day somebody tries to pitch me an opportunity on Facebook, and it's just because recently I've been friending a lot more people. But so when they pitch me something, I usually offer them something free, whether that's a 10-day marketing blueprint or something like that or whatever, just so I'm adding value to them, giving them away something free. And not only that is I also get them on my list in the process. So that way I'm kind of attached to them, but they'll remember that. They'll remember that I offered them something free. When you're talking to someone, ask them how they are and show a genuine interest in them as a person. One great example of this, I don't know if any of you guys would talk to the COO of National Wealth Center, Marcus Taylor, but every single time I talk to this guy, he wants to know how I'm doing. Am I out? Am I out running? What's going on in my life? How am me and my girl doing? You probably same thing with you, Tony, probably, right?
Same thing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I swear, every time I'm talking to him, like this, where's the catch? Because you're used to talking to people in this industry. Because you're used to talking to people in this industry, there's always a catch. They always need something. They always want you to do something. But if you could be more like a Marcus Taylor and you want to, just generally be, thinking about other people and asking them and inquiring about their daily life and stuff, that goes a huge, oh my God, it goes such a long way. So think of ways you can do that to get out of yourself and start thinking about what you can offer to your people and get more interested in them as a person. Another thing I've got listed here is just to be positive in everything that you do. It can be almost annoying how positive some people are, but the more positive you are, the more people want to be around you, the more attracted they are to you.
Yes.
So those are just some great examples of ways you can bring value to prospects and your audience. The business world, this is a very important thing. In other businesses out there, especially not just network marketing, but other businesses out there have realized that the marketing industry has totally changed. Where businesses used to simply target an audience, they'd figure out who their primary demographic was and just blast ads at them or throw videos at them or whatever. And that's the way it used to work, but now that doesn't work. So instead, what they're doing is building trust with their customers by telling stories. Great book I just read. Well, it's actually been a while since I read it, but All Marketers Tell Stories by Seth Godin. It's a great book. And he kind of touches on this, but companies now are sharing stories about how their service or their product can help change a person's life, and that story stays consistent. Just some examples. If you guys watched the recent Apple event where they announced the iWatch or the new iPhone, they don't just say, hey, look, it's got this, it's got that. They say, wow, if you use this health fitness thing, it's going to change the way you sleep or the way the way you're exercising and keeping track of your stats. Or they talk about convenience, how these certain features are convenient and all this stuff. They do a great job at doing that. Even the iWatch, they were talking about, the style embraces individuality and inspires design and all this stuff. They do a great job of that. Another couple of examples are Hallmark cards. If you can remember any of the commercials they've done with Hallmark cards, it's always, somebody's sick, a little kid goes in to get the card and sends the card, and it's such a touching moment and all that stuff. These are stories that people can relate to. So they don't even realize they're watching a commercial anymore. It's like watching a movie that touches them. Another huge example, we see this every Christmas, is with Coke. Coke has those bears, those bears in the North Pole or whatever.
Oh yeah,
rolling around. So now Coke has become part of Christmas. Like I just expect those polar bears to come around, every Christmas. So what they've done is they've pretty much made it to where, all right, so Coke equals Christmas. So when Christmas comes around, that equals Coke. We got to have Coke in the house because it's a Christmas thing now. So they've kind of ingrained that in us. Another example might be Starbucks. I used to work at Starbucks for a number of years, and I was a barista, made coffee drinks and stuff. And so I said they love the Coke Bears. So I was a barista at Starbucks for a while, and it was just driven into us that we had to be quick. We had to remember people's orders, so we created a personalized experience with people, and always had to carry on conversation as a barista. Where we're just slam packed. We got drinks coming at us. We had to not only remember the person's order, but we needed to remember their name and remember what's going on in their daily lives. Which sounds like a lot going on, and it was seriously one of the harder jobs I had. But what they were doing was creating an experience for that person when they come in the morning. Is the first, and this is what they used to tell us. This is the first thing these people are going to experience in their day. It's the first thing in the morning, they're coming to get their coffee. So let's start their day off right, and talk to them as people, and remember their name, and just be really polite to them. so we could create a happy experience for people that really affected the rest of their day. And so that's Starbucks' approach to creating a story and creating feelings about their brand with their customers. So anyway, guys, these are all stories, and you should be creating yours as well. So I've been doing this ever since I've been marketing. I mean, ever since I've been shooting video, especially, I've been creating my story. But you have to start somewhere, and that's exactly why we put together the 30-day video marketing bootcamp series. So you can start branding yourself with this series. You don't have to think about, oh, what video should I be doing, or how do I get started in this? I don't have results yet, and a lot of people confuse results. They think that they have to have results before they'll get success, which makes no sense. That's putting the chicken before the egg or whatever. Right. But you can get monetary results with other types of success. So like if you're doing videos, and we explain this in our training, but success comes in all shapes and forms. It comes in, you say you get 10 prospects contacting you today, wanting to know more information about National Wealth Center. That's success. Because a lot of people don't have 10 prospects contacting them every day. If you're getting leads coming in, people responding to your emails, people calling you, people leaving you voicemail, or maybe you're getting clicks to an ad on Facebook, or maybe you're getting clicks to your website. All of those are forms of success that people just don't look over because they're so focused on the monetary success. So don't ever get confused by that, and take advantage of all the success you're having. So you see, what I really want to get at is that we're not just marketing National Wealth Center. You're not just marketing any business. Now, don't get me wrong, you should feel good about the company you're promoting, which is National Wealth Center, and share your experience with National Wealth Center to your following. But people don't join companies in network marketing. They're joining people. They're joining people like you and me. There's if they wanted to just join the company, they would go to nationalwealthcenter.com, put in their information, and call it a day. They want to join people who offer value, who have authority in the industry, and who have branded themselves, like Greg just said. So the reason why so many top earners are doing so well is they realized this from very early on, and they shifted their focus from branding the business to branding themselves. So that's what we're hoping we can kind of help you to realize, and that you can start doing the same for yourself. Now, are we saying that you can't just use solo ad marketing and just shoot solo ads to your capture page? Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's different ways you can brand yourself too. But if you are the type that just wants to be hands-off, just realize that there may be a limit to your success. And we don't want you to limit your success. If you really want to reach the income goals of like the top earners in the industry, you need to get yourself out there. And you can do that to your own extent. You don't have to do it as much as maybe I have, or Tony has, or some other people have, but get yourself out there.
It's a good point though, because here's the thing, if you're spending, you want to get the most out of your dollar. If you're using paid marketing, solo ads, good example. And say you get, you pay for 300 clicks and you get 100 or 150 opt-ins, and you're wondering, well, how come I'm not getting any sales? You might have piqued their interest into your business. It might be the first time that they saw National Wealth Center, and they may love it. But all they got to do is go on Google or YouTube and start, looking up and seeing everybody else. And if they don't see that you have any videos or any content out there, you might lose them as a prospect, and they might sign up under somebody else. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And if you're branding yourself, they're going to see you out there and say, okay, this person's committed. One, and two, they know what they're doing. This is a good person to work with, and they're going to feel obligated to stick with you. Because they got that information from you. But, that's a big thing, and like I said, I found out not the hard way, but by accident. I was doing YouTube videos and not realizing what an impact it would have until, a couple months later. And Brandon, that's how, you came to me, and then I was like, wow, this stuff really does work. And then you fuel off it and go from there. But that's a big thing there. So if you're spending money on marketing, get the most out of it, and when you capture that lead, keep that lead. And that's the way to do it is by branding yourself. Yeah.
And I was telling Tony this right before, I wasn't even going to mention this on this webinar, but I was telling Tony right before this webinar that when he had done some training, some actually postcard training for his team, and he accidentally left the video listed or public on YouTube. And so I was able to find it. And I saw it, but you know what it did? It was a mistake on his part. He didn't mean to put that out there, but it actually worked in his favor, because what it did was it created authority for himself. It helped to brand himself that, oh, you know what? This guy knows what he's doing. Because in my eyes, I said, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got training. And if he's got more training like this on the back end, I want to get in. So that's kind of what we figured out now. So this was 2 years ago. Like when I joined, nobody was talking about putting content first, or nobody was talking about giving value or putting value first. Now we are. You'll hear everybody say that. If you pay attention to any of the ads on Facebook out there right now, about 80% of them are talking about putting value first. So so that's really what we want to open your eyes to, because a lot of the top leaders don't want to tell you this stuff yet. I don't know why. It's kind of like the old school marketers, how they didn't want to tell anybody about internet marketing. But nowadays, everybody knows about internet marketing, but a lot of people don't know that it's all about branding yourself and building authority, but only a few top leaders are actually speaking out about it. And we want to make sure, first of all, that you have the resources and the knowledge you need to build your business the way you're hoping to build it, and the only way you're going to build it to the income levels that some of you guys have talked about is to do it through branding and building authority. Second of all, this has to do with our authority as a team and our reputation, is that if we're not teaching you guys what you need to know, why in the world would you continue to do business with us? If we're keeping secrets from you, why would you continue to do business with us? So we want to be upfront with you and let you know what's really going on and how you can do that. Now, I just thought of this. Somebody asked me the other day, because we're talking about offering free stuff, and there's like a couple of different things out there right now. I don't even know if I should mention the names. Well, there's a couple. I'll mention them here. MLSP and EMP. And in fact, me and Tony just recently got on board with EMP, and I'll tell you why. And I don't care if you use EMP or not, but I'll tell you why we're using it is because we get, for a yearly price, we get all these little affiliate products that we can offer for free or for a low cost. Some of them are low cost, some are absolutely free, to help people out. So like on the back end, when somebody's contacted me on Facebook and they say, hey, are you interested in getting in this business? And I'll be like, no, actually, I'm super focused on my business right now. I got a lot going on, but I'm glad we connected. By the way, if you get tired of doing this whole Facebook prospecting where you're spamming people's inboxes, check this out. It's absolutely free, 10 days of traction marketing bootcamp. And so right there, I've got them plugged into me. I've offered some value to them. Now they trust me. And more than that, they're on my list now. So huge way to do it, huge power play that a lot of the top leaders are doing now. So if you haven't plugged into something that offers free products, you might want to do that. Or you can buy, like I mentioned before, you can buy little master resale products sometimes, like ebooks and stuff. Just make sure they're not completely out of date, because some of them are like 2005. So if you're looking on those master resale right sites, make sure it's something kind of new. Maybe it's something people are still currently doing, like maybe Snapchat marketing or Facebook marketing or something like that. So you don't want to talk about fax blasting or something like that. But
hey, that's what I did 18 years ago.
I know, that's why I thought of it. That's why I thought of it. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover. I know we had Akeisha just joined, so I wanted to congratulate you, Akeisha, for joining today. She literally just got in time, like an hour ago. She joined up. So welcome aboard. And for all you other guys that might be new, and we're going to put this, in our training. Yeah, Greg, MLSP, I think that's the one I mentioned. I think that's one where you also have resale rights on some products. And EMP is another one, Elite Marketing Pro. Those are both training platforms that offer affiliate products. I think, if I'm not mistaken about MLSP, I think it's the same thing. The only thing I've heard about MLSP is that you have to pay for each individual product, where with EMP you don't. So, but it's good to have something to be able to offer those little affiliate products. Right. So, but guys, I know you might have other questions other than what you're expecting to learn here tonight. So if you guys have any questions about any of our training, please let us know. Greg said, please post it in the training. Actually, Greg, I actually did mention this. And actually, you added it too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's on the Team Destiny site, Greg. Yeah, it's under the tools and training page, or traffic and resources page. Elite Marketing Pro is the name. Yeah,
and same thing on the Team Elite Domination sites under tools and training, Elite Marketing Pro. So, but yeah, it's good to have that, because now everything's switching over to value first. You want to be offering value before you start trying to sell people. And here's the thing, guys: if you can learn how to do this and not, if you're not constantly pushing your business on people, that's very, very unattractive. And at the end of the day, me and Tony don't even have to do that anymore. We don't prospect at all anymore. I can't tell you the last time I went down a phone list and called anybody, or I went out individually online and tried to inbox people on Facebook. You may have to do that in the beginning, But if you do things right and you add, if you brand yourself doing videos, social media content, and blog content, but also offering products of value absolutely free to people, they're going to remember that. Mm-hmm. And if they're not interested in a business, they still, at some point, they might be. They might be interested in your primary business, or maybe they are. Maybe this is a good time for them, and and maybe they're not even happy with the results they're getting in their current business. So once you offer them that product for free, or that training for free, their follow-up question might be, well, what are you doing? What's your primary business? So that's the way we do it now. We don't have to go out and push our business on people. It's just attraction marketing and offering value and branding yourself. So any other questions, guys, about any of our training? It doesn't have to be on this. It could be about anything. And if you guys haven't started the 30-day video marketing bootcamp, I mean, that's an incredible way to get started. It's an incredible way to get started. Thanks, Greg. I'm glad you guys got over here. I know that we had some issues, and I think we're just going to delete that other webinar thing and just like have to create it all from scratch again, because there's something wrong with that particular link.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Somebody
the third time's happened, yeah.
And this replay will be up. I would recommend getting all your team members on this one, because this is a big one. This is like this is where we're breaking off from everybody else. We're actually going to teach you what's going on right now. The pumpkin, is it real? No, it's not. No, it's not. There will be a real one later on, though, and that's one of the things I think of when I think of Halloween. Do you still recommend the Fast Home Biz system? Yes, I do. I hope they're making some changes to it, because it's been a little. It's getting it set up is the only tricky part, but once you get it set up, you can rock and roll with it. So I do still recommend it. Darren said, I got 18 leads off the solo ads. What is the best way to contact them? Contact them by phone and contact them as soon as possible. I usually contact them, especially if you're starting off and you just really want to get a hold of these people. You need to call them as soon as possible. But I would call them between, what time did you do it, Tony? I usually do it between like 12 and 5 or something.
Yeah, see, like I'm in the Pacific time, so usually like 2 o'clock here is 5 o'clock Eastern. If it's an Eastern time zone, I'll go ahead and call them after 5 their time.
You're right after they get off work.
Yeah, exactly.
Just try not to catch them at. Yeah, you never really know. You don't know when people eat dinner, but if you can maybe avoid 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody does dinner at a different time anymore.
I know nobody sits around a.
Yeah, exactly.
Darren said he's Eastern. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I used to be Eastern, so it kind of made it a little easier, because a lot of leads will come from Eastern. But you can also check and see what time zone they're in. If you're using Aweber, it should tell you.
And Darren, if you call and it goes to voicemail, I always leave a message. Make it like 30 seconds or less, and just leave the website on there. I usually tell them I'm not going to call you back. Even if I do call them back, I tell them that because I want them to pay attention to that message and say, oh, I better write this down. Okay. Otherwise, they're going to be thinking, this guy's going to be blowing me up every day. So delete, So I always just, say, hey, you were on my website. Want to see what you thought of it. If you didn't go to the website already, go to it again. Here it is. And give me a call with any questions. I'm not going to call you back. I'm very busy, whatever. And that just makes it, gives you that authority figure, like this whole thing was about, basically. Like, my time's important. You need to come to me if you want to, you want help in building a business, kind of thing.
Right. All right, guys. I'm hoping this is recording. It just says live, and it doesn't say recording, so that makes me a little nervous. And for some reason, there's some post publicly button down here, which is interesting. I wonder if I should click that. Failed to go live. Please try again. Yeah, I think there's some issue with the recording. So it may not even be a recording of this, which I hate to say.
Jeez. Yeah, you're right, because usually it says it up there. I just noticed that.
Yeah, it just says live. That's all. So, I don't know.
After all
right, guys. Well, any other questions about anything before we move forward? And for any of you guys who just joined the team, make sure you go through the training. Make sure you go through the Getting Started page first, though. And it'll walk you through setting everything up, and then go through the training and see, choose 2 or 3 marketing strategies you want to use, be consistent with them, and stick to it. That's what it's all about. Stick to it. Yep. If you're getting leads come in, like Darren was just talking about, if you get leads coming in, that means what you're doing is working. Okay. I didn't realize that in the beginning, because I was like, nobody signed up yet. But you have to get leads first, and then leads convert into sales, at their own pace. So just keep the leads coming in, keep the traffic going.
Yep. Gotta fill the pipeline, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, Greg, we should have another workshop in 2 weeks. We're looking at the schedule now and what we need to do. Maybe making some adjustments. I'm not sure.
We'll let you know.
All right, guys. Any other questions? And if this isn't recorded, I hate that, but at least you guys were here. You took action to be here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys on the next workshop. If you have any questions between now and then, just give it to your sponsor. They'll be able to help you out. But we appreciate you guys being here tonight, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.